willing or not to do it. Hold on. We had to go up one more tick on the volume. Because I know. You love this soundtrack as much as I do. Yeah, it's pretty good. If I'm remembering this correctly, it's like this is like some kind of like Inception type deal, isn't it? Isn't there like a trial within a trial? We need to go deeper! Well, let's just get right into it, huh? Anyways, hello and welcome to another exciting Let's Play. It's your girl, Kayleigh Alyssa here, and welcome back to Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations! Here we go. I miss playing Terraria already. I'm sorry! No, I want to play this though, No, it's not, that's not what I meant. Not late at all.
Well, Sir Detective at me.
Okay, oh wow, it's Rex! Got you a Razor, you know, the $1,500 flip phone. Actually? You have a $1,500 flip phone? That's crazy. A flip phone and the Big 2.6 is wild. Hey. I have to say, Mr. Payne, you performed splendidly.
No, Sir Detective, at me. You were the one who...
Who's the judge here? Whoa! Look at this guy! Today you're 35? Well, congrats. Congrats on the big 3-5. Wow. Halfway through your 30s, I see. Enjoy them. Yeah, enjoy it while you can. What's going on with his hair? It looks like he's got the Vegeta hairline going on, but then someone just like took the world's thinnest razor and gave him the opposite of a mohawk. Right down the middle of his peak. This judge becomes an important character in this game. It's based hair. Well then, I should give him a good voice, right? I gotta give him a good voice. Let's see. Well, the other one sounds like Roshi. You want his beard? I thought you already have one. Didn't you say she just bought you a phone? Oh! Sorry, no offense. Sorry. Pride Month is over. I shouldn't be projecting my sexuality onto you. But it was a funny joke. It was right there. It was right there. Come on. Come on, it was right there. Let him speak to see what he says first. What? Fine. Although I think just like going with something like a, well, that's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong this trial. Right? Giggity. Yeah, see? It's all in good fun. This court finds the defendant. Look at me. Right? Is that nice? Give him like a little, Uji is so young. That's not Uji! It's a different judge. You missed it. No, Olivia, we're breaking into somebody else's. This was the courtroom next door. He's from Canada or Minnesota. From Canada or Minnesota? Well, this court finds the defendant. Look at me. Objection! Aha. Gotta go to the gym. Good luck. Have fun. I refuse. I refuse to do that. The gym part. I will have fun. Wait! Don't hand down your verdict yet! Please! Well, Sir Lawyer. Welcome to my courtroom. My kangaroo courtroom! Oh, who's this hoser, eh? Oh my god, you're right. Oh, hey, who's this hoser, eh? That guy is way too Canadian. No, like that. This feels like this guy's been watching a little bit too much of the Trailer Park Boys, eh? Or what's the other Canadian show? Eh? Even though he is supposed to be Judge's older brother, he's definitely is not Canadian. No, he's 100% Canadian. Oh, sure. My name is Phoenix Wright. Oh, Corner Gas, Letterkenny. He looks like he watches Corner Gas while he eats breakfast, watches Letterkenny while he eats lunch, and then he pops on a little bit of Trailer Park Boys while he's eating dinner. Eh? This hoser. What are his eyes doing? Everything. His eyes are doing so much. His eyes are honestly, they're carrying the scene. Gotta be honest. Canadians do not sound like that. Oh, sure they do. And my name is Phoenix Wright, and I wish to file an accusation against this man. Look at me! No, I mean main judge isn't Canadian. Oh yeah, no, I understand that. No, main judge is Roshi.
Accusation? You accuse Mask the Mask?
That man is not Mask the Mask. He's just a ruthless murderer. What? To be continued. Oh, see, this would have been the saving point, but I didn't know it was going to be so close. To be continued next time on Kayleigh Play. No, I'm kidding. Okay, that'd be funny though. That would be really funny. That would be really funny. Save your progress up to this point. Oh, sure. Oh, sure. I'll save this progress. Talk about progress. Part 4-2 trial. How many parts are there, really? How many parts does a girl need, really? I don't know, if you look at my blue sky, you know. Because I don't do Twitter, okay? I follow a lot of people that show their parts. I wanted to wait for you to see other judge as a starter anyway. Oh yeah, no, that's fair, that's fair. My sis? I could have sworn I heard Mia's voice. So then, she's still alive. Inside your heart. Yep. My heart's been bottoming for Mia this whole time. Nicky boy? Oh, Miss Delight. Is it true? The detective is the real killer? To be honest, we don't have any definite proof. 12, 4 for each hole, 2 per month, in both hands. Okay. Yeah. What? What? Sky, you've been looking at some really crazy stuff, haven't you? That's the really crazy stuff. No, I got it. Sky, I don't think I've been reading those kind of comic books. Okay, no more of that. 4 each is crazy. Also, I think you miscounted there. But wasn't he at Lordly Taylor that night? Not to mention, we don't exactly know his motive. I mean, why would Detective Atme want to kill Kane Ballard? Oops, it's almost time. Better get back to the courtroom. The kangaroo courtroom. I need to find some solid proof. And it's gotta happen sooner rather than later. Alright. I forgot we were fighting this guy. If regular girl, she says. Now then, this court is back in session. Mister, look at me. Please take the stand. Yes, fighting God from the dead. Yeah! Back from the dead. Well, well. How do you do, Sir Lawyer? I never would have thought to see you acting so recklessly. I couldn't let them hand down your verdict just yet. Not when it would have given you your perfect alibi. An alibi by the name of Mask to Mask. I'm sorry. I'm afraid even the great Look at Me has no idea what you mean. Of course, I have been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning. I'm afraid there's no way I could know what's been going on in here. You've been in the defendant's seat all day long, correct? Being tried as Mask to Mask? Indeed. It's truly a child's play to fool the ignorant masses. Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning their own property to them. That's the only reason he returned that one. Got it. Take this red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example. So you continue to insist that you are, in fact, Mask to Mask. Of course. Very well. Look at me. Look at me! Let us begin with this simple question. On October 12th at 1 a.m., Cain Ballard was murdered. Where were you at that time? One without knowledge lacks even the knowledge that he should be ashamed of himself. But don't worry, I will not hold it against you, Sir Judge. Thanks. I already lost count of how many cups of coffee he's been doing. All right, Mr. Atme. The night of the murder. Speak. 10? Oh, this is 10? Thank you, Sky. How many did he say? He predicted it was going to be a certain amount. Or at least he said, like, my trials never last more than 16 cups of coffee. Or whatever. He said 16. Yeah, it was 16. I thought it was 16. I've never had more than 16 cups of coffee during a trial. And I'm not going to start today. Harvey Dent. We're all ears. As you wish, Sir Prosecutor. Prosecutor, if you will. The alibi. No, alibi. The alibi. Sorry, I just had a nice nap. I'm still waking up. Listen, when you get almost 40, you're gonna appreciate the naps. I guarantee it. It's also why I'm drinking iced coffee at friggin' 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hello, it's Pink. What's up? I was still in the urn as a mask to mask, just as I announced I would. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. A photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. The time at which the camera captured mask to mask was the same time as the murder. It seems the main point of discussion will be the photo of this crime scene. Everything else up until now was all part of his plan. There has to be a secret to this picture as well. Well, hold on. Hold on. Just take a look at it. Now, is there a chance he could have altered the time on the computer so that it thought that it's 1 a.m. when in fact it wasn't? It was a different time. Right? Right? You know, kind of like if you alter the time on your phone so that you can enjoy catching nighttime Pokemon when it's daytime. Right? You know what I mean? Maybe you need to evolve your Eevee into an Umbreon, but it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And you're like, ugh, but I want it now. I'm just saying. That's a possibility, right? Also, where's the paint on the box? If the box fell in the paint, where's the paint on the box? There should be paint on the box, unless it's like tucked into his arm there. But wouldn't it be on like, I mean, I guess there's like one corner that would be fine, but you think you would be able to see at least a little bit on one of the corners, multiple of the corners. Come on. Even the great mask to mask cannot be in 2 places at once. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I have a verdict to receive. Unfortunately, Mr. Atme, we still have to do your cross-examination. A fool is too foolish to know that he is a fool. I think he's trying to say that you're full of it, Nick. The only thing that's full of it is his alibi. The alibi. All right, let's see. What do we got? He sounded like Francisca for a second. Did he? I don't know about that. I was stealing the urn as mask to mask, just as I announced I would. So this photograph is proof, correct? Oh, like the Taking Back Sunday song? Like that Taking Back Sunday song? Look, you guys, it's that Taking Back Sunday song. Look, you guys, it's that Taking Back Sunday song. Huh? Huh? This photograph is proof? Indeed it is. The man in the photo is certainly wearing a mask. Ah! I didn't drop my phone. That is why I am called Mask to Mask. But conveniently, that also means that there's no way to tell who this really is. What do you mean? Are you saying that this is not, in fact, look at me? That it could be an accomplice, dressed up as Mask to Mask to create an alibi? Oh, what an interesting idea. I'm scared I can hear you, but I can't see you. You'll be fine, Sky. Are you saying that I, Lone Wolf Luke, had an accomplice? Do I name the accomplice now, or do I give it up for now? Hold on. If Look at Me was at KB security during the murder, then the masked mask in this picture has to be a fake. Exactly. You had an accomplice. Now remember... Nope, that's not right. Now remember, you've said that, Mr. Trey, because there's no going back. If you're making baseless claims, I'll treat you to a penalty myself. Well, he did have an accomplice. That penalty is probably boiling hot, too. So who is it, Mr. Trey? Who's the accomplice? Well, he did have a... It's Master Mask. It's Ron Delight, though, isn't it? Ron Delight is the accomplice, but he's not the accomplice in this picture, right? It was this person. That's quite the prank you're trying to pull. Do you have any evidence that this person is in fact the accomplice? Well, yeah, I do. I do. The aura! The aura that this person has around them is... If you're going to judge someone by their aura, you'd be right up there as the #1 suspect, Mr. Right? Ah, shit. I jumped the gun on that one. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. I believe Adrian Andrews hired you at one point. Judge really said we have no aura. Oof. Oof. That's right. That was over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. You sent the calling card to Lordly Taylor 10 days before the heist. That would mean you sent out the card after you began your security watch, right? Indeed, there was no reason why I couldn't do both jobs at once. It was a perfect opportunity to steal my latest target. I see. You truly are evil, don't you? Yes, evil is what I am. Hey, Nick. Isn't there something odd about this? Detective Abney was always proud of his ace detective skills, right? But if the urn was stolen from Lordly Taylor while he was the only one watching it, he'd have no way to maintain his perfect ace detective persona. You know, that's true. It is kind of odd. A photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. So by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence here. Is that correct? Maybe, I can't tell which one it is. We have several pieces of evidence that look like that. Indeed it is. That is it. The very thing that proves I committed the crime. The very thing that proves you committed the crime. When you think about it, it's really odd. You say that almost as if you had this picture taken on purpose. He was simply caught by the very camera that he had set up. We all have days like that. Indeed, it turned out that there was no such thing as the perfect crime after all. Life is truly an ironic thing. A sad blue melody. Yeah, but if he was in control of security and he wanted to steal it, he could have easily, found a way to have it, to turn it off. Unplug it. Something. Right? No, he chose to keep it running, so he had it as an alibi. It looks like I'd better gather more information for now. If he's truly the killer, there's got to be something phony in that photo. The time at which the camera captured Mask to Mask was the same time as the murder. Well, hold on. Hold on. Hmm. 43. I wonder. Huh. About the camera that took this photograph. Oh, come now, it's all too clear what you're thinking. Huh? You think I altered the timestamp on the photograph, don't you? Yeah, the thought had occurred to me. I'm afraid that's impossible. The camera was set up by Lordly Taylor. And on top of that, it was Lordly Taylor's staff that printed the picture's data. Unfortunately, for the defense, there's no way that picture could have been altered. I see. It looks like I'd better find something else that could be suspicious. So this alibi is false? Because from my angle here, it looks like it is on every part of that box. Right? So unless the artists missed that detail on that one photo, on that one piece of evidence, did they miss that detail on the box? Did they forget to put the pink paint on it? But how could they when they are in fact drawing the same paint that should have been on that box right over there on the right side of the picture? How could they forget? That's there on purpose. That's deliberate. It has to be deliberate. It has to be, or he couldn't have killed Mr. Bullard at KB Security. But I'm not really spotting anything unusual. There are two possibilities. Either the mask to mask in the photo is a fake, or the photo itself is. I had more than enough time to prepare. Photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. The time at which the camera captured Mask to Mask was the same time as the murder. Which one do I present it on, though? I was stealing the urn as Mask to Mask, just as I said I would. Well, why don't I... Hold on, let's go back in here. So this photograph is proof, correct? Oh, this is one of those games where they make you press the same statement multiple times? Okay. So weird that they'll have that in, like, randomly here and there. But conveniently, that also means that there's no way to tell who this really is. Yep, no, I remember this part. Okay. Give it up. Yeah, because I wouldn't know who. There's an order to do it, but not in the order he says things. You have to do it in a certain order? That's not possible. Then the master mask in this picture has to be a fake. I don't have any idea. I don't have any idea right now either. Baseless objections are just what that guy wants. There's gotta be another way, and I'm gonna find it. I had more than enough time to prepare. Adrian Andrews hired you. It was 20 days ago, 10 days before the heist. It's a perfect opportunity, still my latest target. Truly are evil. Isn't there something odd about this? Yep, Ace Detective. This piece of evidence here, is that correct? I think that is it. That proves you committed the crime. So I think it's the third one. The basement warehouse and this picture that supposedly captures it. It's gotta be here. Isn't there something funny about this picture? You bet there is. There it is. Are you implying that this picture is a fake? You bet I am. There's definitely something strange about this picture. We took a look around the basement warehouse that night before the theft took place. And there's something in this photo that doesn't match my memory of that night. Very well. Then let's hear what you have to say. What about this photograph do you find funny? Is it the box? It's the box, right? It's gotta be the box, because the box doesn't have paint on it. Or are they looking for specifically, like, the statue that was there to cover up the paint spill, and then later was moved? Because you could explain that as, yeah, Master Mask moved that. So what? Moved it right before the photo was taken. I'm gonna present the box. I'm gonna present the box! Perhaps this is the area of question. The area, could you be any more vague? It's the box! There's no paint on the box! So it was lazy illustrators. God damn it! Ha! Today's Java has a little extra kick to it. It seems that the funny part lies in the area of defense. God damn it, Capcom! Can't you get one fucking thing right? Fucking lazy illustrators. God damn it! So they were being lazy. They did forget to draw something on that piece of evidence. This important piece of evidence that ties this entire thing together. They did just forget to draw it. Are you kidding me? You kidding me with this shit? That's fucking stupid. Capcom, I want my fucking money back. can't believe I paid $8,000 for this game. Ouch. I better think this through, or I'm gonna fall victim to another drubbing. So dumb. I'm gonna die. All because these fucking illustrators don't know how to fucking do this, their fucking job. Press. Well, I guess I should save on the second slot now that I've lost half of my fucking health. Goddamn illustrators. You goddamn lazy illustrators. Can't believe they missed a major detail like that. Made me think that it was a deliberate and like they deliberately drew it that way to be like, oh no, see, clearly it's a fake. Look at the box. Look at the box. It's a fake. Yeah, you bet there is. We'll try it. We'll try a different. Maybe it's the statue, because clearly, Adrian Andrews is the only human being who's strong enough to be able to push the statue. Otherwise, you know, how can you explain that Mask to Mask certainly wouldn't have been able to push it out of the way before having his picture casually taken? That's impossible. There's no way he could have. This is dumb. This is stupid. I'm actually very upset that this is the direction that this case is going. That we're busting the case open wide because it's impossible for Mask to Mask to be strong enough. He's just too weak. I can't believe it that someone as weak as Mask to Mask could move that statue. Only Adrian Andrews is strong enough. This is paper thin. This is paper thin, Capcom, and you're better than this. You're better than this. This is really falling off. You guys really fell off in this third game. I gotta say, this might be worse than the second game. With that whole Kangaroo Courthouse Circus nonsense. You're really falling off, Capcom. Your first game was the best one, you know that? First game was the best one. Really falling off. I'm disappointed. I am disappointed in Capcom. This is paper thin right here. Yeah, there's something wrong with the photo. It's right here with the puddle. It's the fucking puddle. This is what you want, isn't it, Capcom? Is this what you fucking want? You fucking losers. The funny part is right here. What? This? This is a blood stain. Ah, blood! Now this case is getting interesting. Not exactly. This stain is actually pink paint. Oh, just paint. And peach colored at that. From blood to peaches, the judge sure loves going on his wild tangents. The problem with the photograph is not the paint. The problem is when you consider the layout of the basement warehouse. It turns out that something that should be there is nowhere to be seen. Because it's just off, it's just out of frame. Because it got pushed. Which you could have easily gotten pushed. Before the photo. This is so weird. Why are they making a big deal out of this? Is Adrian Andrews have, like, super strength or something? Is Adrian Andrews the Hulk? What's going on? Did she take, like, the Captain America serum? Is Adrian Andrews a Kryptonian? Is there something I don't know about? Did I miss something from the last game about Adrian Andrews? Was there some kind of, like, important plot point where they talked about how she has inhuman strength? And because of that, she's the only one who could have pushed the statue? What do you mean? Why is this a thing? Capcom, I'm severely disappointed with this episode. It turns out that something that should be there isn't. Something that is in fact an immovable object. Well, Mr. Wright, what is supposed to be in this picture instead of the paint stains? This fucking statue. The supervisor of the treasure exhibit stated the following. Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime, around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall. I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it. It took 9 men to move it into the warehouse, but only one of me to move it across the floor. I myself was there the night the theft took place, and saw the statue in that spot. If this picture was truly taken on that night, then that statue should have been there! But when I went there, the day after the theft, that statue of the old bag was sitting in the corner. Perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally? Not possible! It takes at least 15 men to move that, but only one Adrian Andrews. That means Adrian Andrews is the accomplice! Your Honor, this statue is slightly larger than yourself and quite heavy. Yeah, that's fucking stupid. No, this is the exact way that they're going with this. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I've been making fun of it this whole time, and this is actually where they're going with this. That it would be impossible to move this statue unless you were a Adrian Andrews. Kryptonian. Secret Kryptonian. Adrian Andrews. Secretly one of the guys from Invincible. What is Mark and his dad? Whatever those guys are. Yep. That's crazy. That's crazy work. You can't move this statue unless you were shot up with the V, you know, from the boys, and you've got super strength, like Adrian Andrews here. Clearly, it's a superhero comic now, where Adrian Andrews, superhero, only person who can move this statue. This is fucking stupid. They fix this. They is it supposed to say they fix this plot hole in the first Investigations game. Do they? By explaining how Adrian Andrews has superhuman strength on account of her Kryptonian birth, her Kryptonian heritage. It would take more than an accidental push to move it that distance. In fact, it would take 25 full-grown men just to move that. Huh. In that case, can you prove it? Can you give us the rhyme and reason as to why that statue was moved that night? Can you do it, Nick? Never mind who moved it. The real question is, why did they move it? Well, Mr. Wright, I hope you're prepared with your answer. Now then, who was the one that moved the golden statue on the night of the crime? Well, it has to be Adrian Andrews. No one else possibly could have. It would be impossible. It would be impossible. Hey, what's the deal with Adrian Andrews? Is she like... Is she secretly an Asgardian? Dumb. But it can't be Adrian Andrews. The night? The night of the crime? Or maybe it has to be Adrian Andrews. I swear to God, if the answer is Adrian Andrews... Is she a superhero? She is, though, right? This game is pissing me off. I'm gonna crash the fuck out. Well, obviously it's the killer. Do I just say mask to mask, though? Or do I say look at me? I'm gonna try it. But I swear to God, if it's Adrian Andrews, I'm gonna be so pissed. I'm gonna be so upset. The one who moved the statue is none other than Look at Me, who is also possessing of superhuman strength. Adrian Andrews, secret Kryptonian. Come now, Sir Lawyer. I'm not nearly strong enough to move that. There you go again on one of your strange delusions. Mr. Wright, what basis do you have for your strange delusions? It's very simple. There are only 2 people in the world who are capable of moving that statue. The witness was the only one in the basement warehouse that night. That is indeed very simple, however. Why would I want to move a heavy golden statue? The reason for moving the golden statue... Here's where our battle really begins. Sorry, Okay, hold on. The real reason for moving the statue is because the statue wasn't there. The statue wasn't there. The statue wasn't there! He already stole it! No, he already stole the vase! He stole the vase prior to that night. It doesn't have a date on the photo. Look, there's no date. This doesn't say a date either. On the night of the crime? You sure about that? You sure about that's when it was? This doesn't have a date either. It just says 1 a.m. This was premeditated murder because he already stole this vase to give himself an alibi. Right? Around 1 a.m. It was the day before. And I've always thought that was kind of peculiar, the way that they worded it. 1 a.m. of the day of the murder. 1 a.m. on the night of the crime. Yeah, it was 1 a.m. It was 1 a.m. on that day. The day before, 1 a.m. of that date, when later that night, about 24 hours later, was when the murder happened. This photo was taken the day before. 24 hours before the murder. And he had to move the statue out of the frame of the photo so that the continuity worked. He had to move the statue. So the photo was taken the day before when the statue didn't even exist yet. Then the next day, the night of the crime, he probably came back like that morning or something, you know? That morning, after he had done the murder, he comes back and he's like, oh fuck, I gotta move the statue, shit! And then moved it. Huh? I'm calling it, that's what it is. The reason for moving the statue, the golden statue, here's where our battle really begins. The reason is, moved again that night. Carried into the basement warehouse the day of the crime. Moved again that night. Do I present the statue? Do I present the photo? You moved it because it's not in the photo. Do I present the photo? I present the photo, right? Or do I present the statue because it arrived that day? Quotations. Fuck this game. Fuck this game. It's fucking wording. The reason for moving the statue. You're not at present yet. I'm not at present yet. What? Oh. I thought that's what they were asking for. I distracted myself. Well, Mr. Wright, what reason did the witness have to move that statue? The reason can be found here in this photograph. Look at me. You pretended to be masked to mask. To create an alibi by showing you were at Lordly Taylor that night. But this photograph contains a single fatal flaw. If the statue had been there, your lie would be exposed like cheap film at a drugstore. That is why you had to move the statue. A single fatal flaw? Interesting theory. Please enlighten us. Just where in this picture does this lie exist? It's a puddle again, right? It's a puddle again? That's for 3? It's not the puddle again? I mean... Is it the time? Naturally. The lie in this photo is the timestamp. Well, what do you mean? I'll tell you exactly what I mean. On the night in question, Look at Me went to KB Security and murdered Kane Ballard. Therefore, it's obvious. It would have been impossible for him to have been at Lordly Taylor at this time. But what does that have to do with the statue being moved? Remember, if you will, Your Honor. When was this statue placed besides the warehouse door? Well... The statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime, single-handedly lifted by Adrian Andrews. And it was placed there in order to cover up the paint. Exactly. Look at Me had already decided on the time when he was going to kill the victim. And so, in order to create an alibi for that time, he took this picture days before the murder took place. What the? Of course, the statue hadn't yet been brought down to the basement warehouse yet. Ah! So, on the day of the crime, Mr. Atme must have been quite nervous. As nervous as a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory, so to speak. Who said that? Where did you ever hear that? Who's... Okay. It's fine. It's fine. A lack of date on the photo is stupid, too. It is stupid. Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there had been brought down and placed where it wasn't supposed to be. And that is why Look at Me had to move the statue on the night of the murder. He did it to make the room match with the way it had been in this photo. Gah! Order, order! Mr. Admin, are you ready to order lunch? Everybody, have your order ready! One moment, Your Honor. Have you forgotten this? Whoa, what's that? The data for the basement warehouse computer. According to this, the camera did indeed go off on the night of the crime. It's true that the camera had been set up by Lordly Taylor's staff. However, the program used to manage that data was yours. That alone would have allowed you to tamper with the data. Ah. Ah! I'm still mad that they didn't draw the paint on the box. I'm very upset about that. I haven't forgiven Capcom. Imagine, like, 9 months from now, I start playing Investigations, and I just start the stream by saying, I'm still upset. I still haven't forgiven Capcom for not drawing the paint on the box. I've decided to pay $20 for Ace Attorney Investigations. That doesn't mean that I've forgiven them for neglecting to put the paint on the box. Order, order! Mr. Godot, what is the meaning of this? It says right here you just want... You want taro bubble tea, no boba? You're not even gonna order a banh mi? Just a bubble tea, not even with the boba? It's a texture thing. I don't like the boba, and I already had a big breakfast. He's carrying the box in a way you can't see the paint on the box. Yeah, well, one of the two corners exposed should be showing the paint. Based on the shape of the puddle, 3 of the corners had paint on them. So one of the 2 exposed corners in that picture should have paint showing on it. Okay? Alright? I'm just saying. Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me remember that I still haven't forgiven Capcom. Alright? Just saying. You should be able to see a little bit of paint. You should be able to see a little bit of paint on at least one of those corners. Like, even if the paint, the little bit of paint is on the corner that's, like, closest to his left hand there, you should still be able to see a little bit of paint. Just a little bit of paint! I'm just saying. There should only be one corner on that box that doesn't have paint. At most, one corner that doesn't have paint. Okay. Just saying. What can I say? I really like bubble tea, but I don't like boba. It's a texture thing. I also hate gummy bears. Godot! I warned you about making me wait. Now put that coffee down. My 11th cup. Oh, he has been keeping track. I love it. I love this music. It makes me want to play Mother 3. Gummy bears, the food or the show? There's a show? I've promised to drink no more than 17 during a trial. Which means I'm so good to the last drop. However, the defense has a very good point. A good point? So what? We are all but travelers on a road of infinite points. Nah, all who wander aren't lost. As J.R.R. Tolkien once said, not all who wander are lost. I think he's got his points mixed up with his other points. So you say this photograph was taken ahead of time, and that the statue was moved in order to make a match. That's a very interesting idea, however. There's one point that can't be denied. Which is... No, we got rid of those hundreds of years ago. There aren't any anymore. We burned them all. That it's only a possibility. Men that are trapped by chains of maybe. Why is it so black? Why is it such a black sludge? Can never reach their dreams. That's very true. No way. Don't fall for that, Your Honor. Don't even spring for it. Hey, Mr. Damask. Yes? If there's no funny business in your actions as Master Mask, there should be no problem with you telling us your strategy. So let's hear it. Yes, please provide this court with your testimony about your plan to steal the sacred urn. The sacred urn. Oh, the sacred urn heist. Oh, we're gonna have like a heist montage where he's gonna go through how he hired 10 other people to make Masks 11. He finds his other 10 accomplices. And then they're like, you son of a bitch, I'm in. You son of a bitch, I'm in. Oh. It's literally Morty from Rick and Morty in that one episode where they're doing the bank heist. Or they're heisting. Oh, they were heisting a convention. That's what it was. Oh, you son of a bitch! I'm in. Hooey. I first received the request from... Oh, sorry. I first received the request from Lordly Taylor about 20 days ago. Thank you. I love that episode. It's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite episodes. There's a lot of good Rick and Morty episodes, but that one's one of my favorite. You son of a bitch! I'm in! Thanks. I'm proud of my Morty. You know, you gotta pull it out every once in a while. You gotta pull it out every once in a while. You can't just use it all the time, willy nilly. People are gonna get bored of it. That's my Rick. It's okay. It's just okay. It's not as good as my Morty. You son of a bitch! It helps to have been a smoker for like 15 years. I first received the request from Lordly Taylor about 20 days ago to steal their urn. The urn was placed in a box, and sorry, it was then sent to the warehouse. I like the episode where Beth hooks up with Space Beth. Yeah. It is a little weird, though. But I gotta say, I probably would, too. I'm just saying. But it is funny that, I did find the end of that episode funny. Unlike you, I did find it very funny that Jerry, it started off as, like, Jerry just, like, basically, like, it was kind of, like, ultimatuming them into cuckolding him. Like, if you want to save our marriage, then, well, why don't you just spitefully cuckold me? Basically is how the story ended. It's fantastic. Did she cheat, or was it... I mean... I think it's both. I think it's both. I think that's open to interpretation, and I think it's both simultaneously at the same time. It's both. Look, I'm just saying, if I had a clone of me out there, if there was a space Kayleigh, yeah, I get it. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 a.m. on October 12th. The crazy thing is, like, now he has 2 wives, kind of. And he still did what he did in the most recent episode of Rick and Morty that released this weekend. And that's absolutely insane. There are 2 Beths. And you did that. What the fuck, man? Like the time traveler's wife, did she cheat by hooking up with the past version of her husband? Was he technically the father of his daughter? Yeah, I don't know. Technically, they're infinite Beths. You're right. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. (10:12) at 1 a.m. I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 a.m. on October 12th. Is he telling the truth about that? Because in that photo, it doesn't even show him technically holding the urn. It shows him holding a box, which might not even be the right box. He could also be lying. Could also just be lying. He's not above that. He's proven that. That's pretty much all the stuff we've heard before, isn't it? Yeah. But we will find the truth hidden in the nuggets of new information he gave. Chicken nuggets. I don't know why I said chicken nuggets. Witness, you're sure there are no mistakes this time? Svari. That's not an answer. It's not. Very well then, Mr. Wright. You may begin your cross-examination. Okay. Sure. Yeah. No, why don't we do that? I first received the request from Lordly Taylor about 20 days ago. Did you? Did you, though? Did you, though? Oh, that's better. Oh, that's so much better. You were asked to guard the urn by Miss Adrian Andrews. Is that right? Indeed. She used her superhuman strength to coerce me. It seemed that they had heard of my sparkling reputation. That's not a word. Your Honor, permission to treat the witness as a cuckold? Thank you, Your Honor. You fucking cuck! I see Miss Andrews is still attracting the weirdos. Because her muscles are so dense that they have their own gravitational force. You better watch out too, Maya. Oh, whoa! Shots fired! What did she do? Oh my god! That was so mean for no reason. That was so mean for no reason. The urn was placed in a box in Svari. It was then sent to the warehouse. I'd love to see Adrian with her hair down, no glasses, then put her hair up and put on the glasses, then take off her clothes. In that order. Whoops! I was supposed to press. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. So you're sure that you had never seen the urn before? Indeed, you may ask Lady Andrews to confirm for yourself. My security was focused entirely on their warehouse. The entrance to the warehouse. You people get way too horned up on these streams. Listen, what do you define... What do you... Hey, whoa! What do you mean by you people? However, look at me! Let no information whatsoever slip through my fingers. Every time Sky says something horny, it doesn't appear in my chat box, but it appears on the stream itself. I see. So it's the opposite of a filter. I like it. I like it a lot. Whoa, whoa. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. You mean this calling card? You're not supposed to show it to anybody! Oh, I hope he shows up. I hope he shows up like, hey! You're not supposed to show that to anybody, pal! That's right. That is, without a doubt, my calling card. I guess Mr. Delight didn't make this after all. Of course, because Atme knew about the emblem. Making this card authentic would have been child's play for him. The case is over, it's fine. What do you mean? I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. Then no one entered the basement warehouse? Well, what about the basement when house? Or the basement who house? Grinch stole Christmas, anyone? Oh, that reminds me. So they're making a sequel. Jim Carrey's going to star in a sequel to the How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And I'll tell you what. I hope, please, Hollywood, do the right thing. Do not make How the Grinch Stole Christmas 2. Do it right. Make the Halloween movie. Do it. Halloween is Grinch's night. Come on, you know you want to. We all have a little bit of trauma from watching terrifying cartoons when we were children. And Halloween is Grinch's night? Oh man, the nightmare fuel that movie was. How were there so many nightmare fuel movies when we were children? And that was before I was a child. But it still somehow still got remained in circulation so that I saw it when I was a child in the 90s. And that thing is straight nightmare fuel. I loved it. Oh, I loved it. That thing was more terrifying than the frickin' Heffalump song from the Pooh movie. Alright? Frickin' crazy. I swear to God, Hollywood, you better be making a Halloween movie with the Grinch. Don't you dare make another Christmas one. Don't you fucking do that to me. Don't you do it! Unfortunately, there were many different treasures being taken there. I think you remember films being nightmare fuel because you were a child and more susceptible to scary movies. Well, yeah, for sure. Oh, no, definitely. Jurassic Park was terrifying the first time I saw it. Not a fan. Loved it after then when I grew up a little. Watched it a couple years later, I'm like, why was I scared? This is cool. But when I was like 5, I was like, this is terrifying. I've never seen anything as scary as this. Or when, however old I was when it first came out. They do have a Grinch horror movie. I don't want a Grinch horror movie. You're not understanding me. There was a Grinch Halloween movie. It came out in like the 70s or some shit. And it was awesome. Okay? It was so freaking cool. I loved it. Okay? And if they're gonna make a sequel to Jim Carrey's Grinch movie, I want it so desperately to be their take on the Grinch Halloween movie as a live action. So I feel like they can make that trippy as fuck. Alright? Imagine having alcohol poisoning while you're watching that. Alright? I would not advise that you have alcohol poisoning. Chat. It's the mini-series Terrified as a kid. I've seen scarier Courage the Cowardly Dog episodes. Okay, listen. Listen. Alright. I'm just saying. It's the vibes. Alright? Thus, for a period of approximately 5 days, people were indeed going in and out of the warehouse. It like Pennywise? Alright, well. It, the miniseries, Terrified as a Kid. Today, I have seen scarier Courage the Cowardly Dog episodes. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. A lot of Stephen Hawking. Stephen King's stories are just weird and creepy and not actually scary. Okay? Just saying. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 a.m. on October 12th. And this is the photo that proves that, huh? Indeed. To be honest, even if a photo was taken, I didn't think it would matter terribly much. Hey Nick, if this photo is a fake, Detective Abney might have stolen the urn whenever this was taken. That's true. You know, he's been saying that he never saw the urn until that night. If we can prove that he's lying there, we can wrap this up and put a bow on it. I need to take a good hard look at the court record. Well, hold on. So if he hasn't, because when was this fixed? Broken and repaired by Adrian 2 weeks ago. Then replaced in its box, kept out of sight. So that would have been 14 days earlier. But he was hired 20 days earlier. So perhaps he might have been expecting to see it looking like this. Not a lot to go on this there. That detective's been covering his tracks. There's only one thing we need to prove in this cross-examination. That he took this photo well before the actual night of the crime. Alright then, how do we do that? There's one thing that Atme stated very clearly. That he had never seen the urn before he stole it. If only you had something that explains how the urn looked like from mask to mask. Oh, well. What do you mean? Because there is this. Secret urn. Speckled, how would you know that? What do you mean? Don't answer that. We need to prove that he's lying. Okay, I already pressed this one. The urn was placed in the box, and Zvari, it was then sent to the warehouse. I don't think he ever said speckled. You mean this box? Yes, that pathetic box. Lady Andrews was especially taken with that urn, and she wouldn't let anyone enter the storeroom, not even me. Huh. Interesting new tidbit. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. He never said speckled. So you're sure that you had never seen the urn before? Indeed, you may ask Lady Andrews yourself. Okay. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure. You mean this calling card? That's right, that is without a doubt my calling card. Admi knew about the... Check. Take good care of the speckled urn. Oh. 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 I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. Objection! Mr. Admi, if you really are mask to mask, then you also wrote this calling card, correct? But of course. Is there a problem with the calling card? Allow me to read a passage from the calling card that Mask to Mask had written. Take good care of the speckled urn. Now the speckled here surely refers to the pink pattern on the sacred urn. Yes, that is true, but so what? Truth be told, there's no way that Mask to Mask could have known about this pattern. What do you mean? This pink spotted pattern on the urn is actually nothing more than paint stains. Paint stains? And these stains did not appear until after the urn had been taken to Lordly Taylor. Is that 12? That's 12. I'm not finding this joke to be very funny, Mr. Trade. The day that the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse. The urn was broken due to human error. Or should I say, an error-prone human. And that's when the pink paint got on the urn. Erg, you can't be serious. And yet this calling card clearly mentions the paint pattern. Which means Detective Admi had seen this urn long before the crime ever took place. In fact, he saw it when this fake photo was taken. Phew. And because this photo is a fake, your alibi for the night of the murder no longer holds water. Gwa 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 gwa. Witness, do you have anything to say for yourself? Grr. Alright, that did it. He's broken. Nick, I think it's still a little early for a victory pose. Huh? 13? Huh. It's so sad. No one has any conviction these days. Conviction, you say? Yesterday, we all decided unanimously that this man was Master Mask, and now we're calling him a murderer. You don't think we're being a tad fickle? Fickle as a pickle. Fickle as a pickle when it's tickled. That's a good point. No way. Don't fall for that too, Your Honor. You say that, look at me, who was the one who killed Cain Bullard. Let me ask you this. Why would he do that? An excellent point. Motive, Mr. Wright. Motive. Might you, my merry murderous motive manifest? Nick! He's getting his second wind. Oh no! Second wind? I didn't know he was a fighter class. I thought he was a rogue. Oh no! He's got second wind? If he prepared an alibi and pinned his crime on Rhonda Light, as you say, he must have had a very strong motive for murder. The only one with any motive we've seen is Rhonda Light, as opposed to Rhonda Heavy. Isn't that right, Detective? Indeed, according to my own research, the boy's motive is clear. Without a motive, it's nearly impossible to prove guilt in a murder case. Now then, maybe you can enlighten us as to what the defendant's motives were. I'd be honored to, Sir Old-Timer. You shouldn't be allowed to call him that. They're doing everything they can to make Ron look suspicious. Despite our lack of hard information, this may be our only chance. Look at me, had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever. Cain Bullard decided to investigate Mask the Mask, and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Rhonda Light. And it was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. Well, doesn't it say? I'll take that red diamond you received the other day instead. That red diamond? Like the one on your ring? And it was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he is Mask the Mask. That is why Mr. Delight saw it fit to kill Cain Bullard. Truly a tragedy. Yeah, why can't they all be that obvious? Your guess is as good as mine. So the victim, Cain Bullard, blackmailed the defendant. This is the blackmail letter found in the defendant's apartment. A handwritten test confirms that Mr. Bullard was indeed the one who wrote the letter. What? Blackmail letter updated. Very well, Mr. Wright. Begin your cross-examination. Okay. And no points of contact? You sure about that? You sure about that? And who in the world is going to prove that? I will. Huh? After doing a thorough background check of Detective Abney and Kayleigh Ballard, we were unable to find any links between them. It's all in the report. Perhaps they were connected through work. They were both involved in security. Nope. That was blunt. It's obvious. In any case, the only one with a motive was Mr. Delight. But, guard on the photo is Ron Delight. Ron Delight, who works for Ballard. Clearly, like they've already stated, where's the evidence that shows that? They've already stated that they've been working with, you know, the freaking KB security on previous heists. As have you. You've both been hired to work on the heists. Like, why are we even trying to deny that at this point? Like, that's common knowledge. It's been in the newspapers. Kayleigh Ballard decided to investigate Master Mask and simply mistook who he was. Mistook? That's right, mistook. From the Old Norse mistaka, meaning to take in error. That wasn't what I meant. Just who did the victim mistake Master Mask to be? Why, the answer is obvious. Rhonda Light, of course. Not to be confused with Rhonda Heavy. Boy, I'd like to wipe that smug look off this guy's face. Press harder. Yeah, press harder, Daddy. Oh, why would the victim mistake the defendant for Master Mask? Don't you already know that? Zvari. Take a look at this newspaper. Oh ho! That's the famous Tear of Emanon. A magnificent jewel. Or is it Tear of Emanon? That photo shows a magnificent detective as well, does it not? Furthermore, it also shows an ugly guard, namely the defendant. The defendant?! The victim clearly misread this article and, Zvari, he got the wrong impression. What? The impression that this ugly security guard was in fact Master Mask. I see. That was an unusually reasonable deduction. And also true. It was Mr. Ballard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Rhonda Light. Do you mean this blackmail letter right here? It says bring 50,000, and the handwriting is, without a doubt, the victim's. I know you want to do it, just do it. What? No. There's no mistake. We have an official report to prove it. But I don't see an addressee on this letter anywhere. An addressee? The letter was discovered in Ron Delight's apartment. And Mr. Delight did show up at the designated place in time. The fact that there is no addressee is irrelevant. I wonder. What's up, Nick? I just had a thought. What if that blackmail letter wasn't meant for Mr. Delight? Whoa, do you have any evidence of that? For some reason, I just can't shake the feeling that there's something not quite right about this blackmail letter. Well, everyone, are you satisfied? And it was again Mr. Ballard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. What do you mean by that? Oh my, I was certain you were already aware. Zavari. KB Security has a lot of security info on all sorts of companies. Phoenix is late to the game. We already knew that. Yeah? And since I was a security team chief, I stole data from the company. Cain Ballard had yet to forgive young Mr. Delight, which is why he sent him that letter upon mistakenly believing he was the thief. Here's the file that we discovered on Mr. Ballard's office. Evidence that Mr. Ballard was receiving blackmail. Money through blackmail. However, isn't this a bit odd? Why did the defendant pay Mr. Ballard the money, even though he wasn't actually mask to mask? On that point, there was an unfortunate bit of chance. Mr. Ballard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he has masked the mask. Do you really think that story is going to hold up? That assertion is not merely my own, I'm afraid. What do you mean? I have here a memo from Ron Delight's wife, Desiree Delight. What's that, 13? Brody thinks he's mastered that mask. Don't you feel sorry for him? Please don't think too badly of him. It's copy 13, right? Ah. Well, Mr. Trade. Ugh. Was he trying to act like Miss Delight just now? Yes, 13. I thought so. It was 13. It's 13. I thought he was actually pretty convincing. That is why Mr. Delight sought fit to kill Cain Ballard. Truly a tragedy. Objection! That's objectionable right there. That's actually an objectionable statement. Now that's just your imagination talking. Come now, Sir Lawyer. I'm afraid imagination isn't the right word for it. This is a deduction, the result of carefully applied reasoning. Can we hear that careful reasoning for ourselves? No. It's a long story and better saved for another time. Very well, another time. Those so-called long stories aren't usually all that long. At least not in my experience. So you're going to try to connect Detective Abney to Mr. Ballard, right? Yeah, that's right. Hopefully it won't require surgery either. In that case, you'll have to talk about the blackmail. That's true. Was that blackmail letter really intended for Ron? Since we don't have enough information, you should press him for more testimony. Maybe I'll be able to shake some contradictions loose there that way. I, look at me, had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever. King Ballard decided to investigate Master Mask and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Ballard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Rhonda Light. I kind of want to. But do I press it again? Or do I just present? Ha! Objection! Mind if I ask you a few questions, Detective Atme? Well, if it's just a few, I guess it's all right. When you said that this letter was addressed to Rhonda Light, I couldn't help but notice one major contradiction. Contradiction? I don't know where a walking contradiction like you gets off saying things like that. You're one to talk. At times like these, men are made to express themselves with their fists. Why don't you show us what you've got there? Junior. Indeed, time to man up, Mr. Wright. Show us the contradicting evidence in the content of the blackmail letter. Do I just present it again? I'll take that red diamond. Do I just present it again? What do you mean? Diamond, think diamond. The gem and the thief? But that's a blue one. It says jewel, not diamond. And it's blue. Was he, like, colorblind? No. I'll try it. Take a good look at this newspaper clipping. It contains a picture of the Tear of Emanon, the stolen jewel. Whoa, what about it? The problem is this jewel's color. Color? I'm not much for discussing color myself. According to the clipping, the color of the stolen jewel was blue. However, in the blackmail letter, a totally different jewel is mentioned. I'll take that red diamond you received the other day. Red? Which means the red diamond described in the blackmail letter is not the Tear of Emanon that Master Mask stole at all. And your point is, Mr. Trade? So you're trying to say that this blackmail letter was intended for someone else? That is what you're trying to say, right, Trade? That is what you're trying to say, right, Mr. Wright? Well, that is what you're trying to say, right, Nick? Yes. This is who Kayleigh Ballard was actually blackmailing. Naturally. It was you, Detective Atme! Do you have some sort of basis for that claim? You have been personally involved in every single mask-to-mask case. And, in the last case, you recovered what was stolen and received a jewel as your reward. A jewel? Probably the one wrapped conspicuously around your finger. That red diamond ring. That is the diamond referred to in the letter. Which means that Kayleigh Ballard wrote that letter in order to blackmail you! Ah! Order! Order in the court! Order, I say! 14. It's 14! You get 3 more, buddy. It seems you've gone too far with your childish pranks, Mr. Try. Uh-oh. Well, I don't like the way he said that. Kayleigh Ballard blackmailing Luke Atme. Are you for real? Yes, I am. Nick, come on, stand up to him. Then answer me this. The blackmail letter contains the following passage. If you don't want your identity revealed to the world. Yes, it certainly does. Kayleigh Ballard threatened to make Luke Atme's identity public knowledge. An identity he wanted to keep a secret, so just what was that identity? Atme killed Kayleigh Ballard because he was afraid of his secret becoming known. What was the identity he wanted to keep secret? This is what it all comes down to, Nick. The identity that Luke Atme wanted so desperately to keep secret was his identity as a blackmailer. Look at me, was a blackmailer. The transgender, no! Hey now, isn't that a little different from what you've been saying? Oh, or blackmailer too, yeah. You said that Kayleigh Ballard was the one blackmailing Luke Atme. Are you saying that Atme was blackmailing someone else on top of that? You have to admit that does sound a little odd. It's not odd. It's the only thing that makes any sense. Kayleigh Ballard was blackmailing Luke Atme. But Rhonda Light was also being blackmailed by a certain someone. So, did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident? Yes. Just a few days after the Tear of Emmett heist. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. I received plans from some very kind person. Incredibly detailed plans. Detailed plans? In which case, that would mean that Rhonda Light was actually mask to mask. That is what we are claiming. Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. Delight steal his targets for him. And that someone was none other than Look at Me! Shh, silence! Now I see it's all becoming clear. Whoa, what is? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Careless, with a tendency to jump to conclusions. Am I wrong? How did you... You say that I, look at me, was blackmailing Rondelight. In which case, I would naturally know all about his relation to Mask the Mask. Well, yes. Rondelight started receiving plans from his second crime onward. Correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed that first crime. Ha ha! Now your entire FYP is Terraria. Take that! Good point. You certainly couldn't have blackmailed him otherwise. Now your entire FYP is going to be Ace Attorney content. If you look at more Ace Attorney content, you'll be able to find more Ace Attorney content on your YouTube. Now your algorithm is going to show you more Ace Attorney content. That's 15! He's only got 2 more. In that case, let's see some hot, bitter evidence. During the first crime, how to look at me, know that Rondelight was Mask the Mask. Gotta go, guys. Sky, have a good night. See ya, Olivia. Bye, Thunder! Girl in the photo is Rondelight. Wasn't that it? Or was it his testimony? I mean, I feel like that would be enough. The fact that they're both there. Fuck. Oh, fuck. Points to them being in the same place at the same time, yeah? I think I see it. See what? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Gets into lots of mischief trying to be the center of attention. What do you mean? This newspaper clipping. It has a picture of you and Rondelight in his guard uniform. It seems that Mask the Mask didn't just disappear into thin air. He just took off his outfit and hid it in a bucket. That sounds far too stupid to be true. Correct. With tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. And that's when you figured it out, Mr. Atme. That's when you learned that under his mask, Mask the Mask was Rondelight! Well, not only that, it looks like an ace detective. Well, you can't be his blackmailer. What a fraud! Trying to pass what? Well, okay. Why, you? How dare you expose me like that? So you admit it? I mean, I've never blackmailed anyone in my life. I'm a famous and proud ace detective, and also, and also Mask the Mask. Why can't you understand that? I'm afraid you are neither a proud thief nor an ace detective. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity. Why, you? How dare you even dare to try and could ever fall such lowly depths? Why not try doing something yourself with those big mouth of yours? You're all real fools. I say none of you can compare to my genius. You're all religious jealous. Sir Goon! Desecrate me! Commemorate, there's nothing the great ace detective cannot handle. So Goon! Goon! Desecrate me! Oh my god. That's the thumbnail. So Goon! Desecrate me! Oh, wow. It would seem we've finally arrived at the real answer. That was quite a performance by Mr. Atney. Bailiff, please prepare a cell for Mr. Atney. $16. You got one more, bud. The hammer that strikes too fast has no time to aim. Well, what do you mean? I'm already prepared to deliver my ruling. Allow me to say one thing. I will be the one to judge. You don't get much more in your face than that. It appears that your claws weren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Tride. Well, what do you... It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like look at me was a filthy blackmailer. And that he wasn't that lordly tailor the night of the murder. That's right. That's why he's the one who killed Mr. Bud. There's still one thing you have yet to prove. What's that? Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene. Therefore, if you can't prove that this pitiful excuse for a man was at KB Security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered. No. No way! Order in the court. Well, Mr. Wright, this is it. This is the final round. I've got to prove that Atney was at Mr. Bullard's office on that night. But can you really prove that? That's long enough, Mr. Tride. I want to hear your answer. That night, Look at Me was at KB Security, and the defense... Can prove it? Can't prove it? Can I prove it? I have to be able to prove it. But how? It was the buzzer, right? I can't prove it yet? I can't prove it. Just as I thought. But if we hear more of Detective Atney's testimony... Unfortunately, that's as far as you go, Mr. Tride. Well, what do you mean? I won't allow for any more testimony, that's what I mean. What? Have you forgotten? Look at Me is here after he interrupted his own trial. And you have failed to prove that he committed the murder. I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial and face his guilty verdict as Master Mask. No! Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as Master Mask. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron Delights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. Order! Order in the court! That's enough deliberation over this witness. I can't believe this. At this rate, Ron is... Don't give up now, Nick. We still have tomorrow. We can look for more evidence and... By then, it'll be too late. Huh? Why? Double jeopardy. One of the basic rules of any court of law. Double jeopardy? Should a defendant be tried and found innocent in court, that defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. This is a fundamental rule of all courts. It applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else. Mr. Adme will be found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty as Master Mask, which means he'll be innocent as far as the murder of Cain Ballard is concerned. No way. The fact that you were unable to prove Mr. Adme's guilt of that crime here means that he will never again be able to be tried as Cain Ballard's murderer. That doesn't make sense. He could have done both. Objection! Now there's nothing I can possibly do to win, even if Ron is proclaimed to be innocent. The real killer, look at me, will go free. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. And as long as there's no more testimony, I'm afraid I have to declare that there will be no further questioning of this witness. Are there any objections? Yeah, I object. He can be both a thief and a murderer. What do you mean? It can be both. Then I hereby end the cross-examination of Look at Me. Oh! I think I see it. Your Honor, when you were a child, this is what was on your report card every year. Has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result. Hey, how did you... 'Cause she's the best ace attorney. She's the real ace attorney here. Phoenix, raise your head up high. Have you forgotten what I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. She's here! That voice! No way! Mia! Long time no see, Phoenix. Mia! Look at all that evidence, holy crap. This is the true power of the Karain channeling technique. I know that it's really Maya who's standing before me, but right now she's my mentor, Mia Fey. Now, let's do this. But there's nothing more that we can do, Mia. Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine. Not yet. The testimony's not over yet. What do you mean? Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. Yes, that's true, but... Unfortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of remarks. Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as Master Mask. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron Delights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. Yes, but these comments appear to have no importance whatsoever. Very well. Then we shall prove their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defendant, assert our right to question them. Is that all right with you, prosecutor? Is something the matter, Mr. Godot? Nothing. Oh, Sir Lawyer, it looks like you're one step too late. If you think such falsehoods will do anything to me, look at... Let's hear it. Huh? It's true that the witness has made some remarks. So then, let's hear this last bit of cross-examination. Mr. Gadoo, what are you... Very well, then. Mister, look at me. I'm going to allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks. The defense would like to hear why you declared the defendant to be the true murderer. So please, give us one last bit of testimony. How does he know? He's going to claim that he knows that he was at the building? How would you know that? Phoenix, this is it. This is our absolute last chance. Yes, Chief. Witness testimony. The last testimony. Indeed, it is true that I was not as Lordly Taylor. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph readied. My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Ron Delight. And thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which sounded only once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. And the blackmail letter? The victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. Zavari. Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy. This testimony actually seems to hold up pretty well. The witness's earlier remarks do not appear to have been hastily prepared. All of his points have been explained, and none of them seem to contradict anything. But of course. But how did you know about the emergency buzzer? The police investigation documents went directly through me, and I always look over all the documents. It's elementary, Sir Lawyer. Grr. Are you going to make even more trouble for us now, Sir Lawyer? I will not allow any of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. We cannot postpone Look at Me's trial any longer. This is your last chance. Hang on a sec, just one chance? Ha. It seems that the party's about to begin. Well, Phoenix? There isn't any evidence that contradicts with that testimony. So it would seem. What do you mean, so it would seem? Listen, Phoenix. Pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is our last chance. If you can't point out a case-breaking contradiction, you lose. That's all there is to it. 17! Cup number 17. The last cup. Oh, I'll make you drink another cup. Next time on Kayleigh Plays Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. And tune in next time for the exciting finale of Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Well, the finale of this trial. Not the whole game. It's just the second trial. I guarantee you, he'll have another cup of coffee, and I'll have my verdict. Next Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central. Until then, stay tuned. Later tonight at 7 p.m. Central for the next exciting episode of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. Knights of the Old Republic 2. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below, how many cups do you think he'll have drank by the time this case is over? I think he'll have at least one more. Maybe two. But you let me know how many you think he'll have. Until next time, have a great night. Have a wonderful week. I love you all. Bye-bye. 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 Bye.